This is so dishonest. All like I said, this is just the most dishonest one. I think this one should just. Okay, this I think is the most dishonest one. This is probably the most dishonest one. You guys know that I am a big Stranger Things show. All right. If you follow my shorts, follow my TikTok, you know that I have no media literacy and I think everything is great. And I really enjoyed volume 2, really enjoyed volume 1, and I super enjoyed the finale. Recently, though, today it was announced that Stranger Things has like a behind the scenes documentary coming out. It looks very good. But before that, people are legitimately they're up in arms. The Duffer Brothers, you guys are on fraud watch. You guys have been coming out with interviews on interviews on interviews talking about this show that just ended, answering little plot holes. I don't really think or like plot holes. I don't even think you guys should really be answering. When people ask you like, "Oh, what happened to Vicky? What happened to Vicky?" and you guys say, "Well, it's up to you guys to determine on if you think that Vicky and Robin are even still together." Who cares? That's not something you need to think of. That's not something you need to think about. That's not something that needs to be said of like, well, it's up to viewer discretion. Come on. And then you guys want to tweet. You guys want to say some shit like, "Oh, I'm in such a dark time. It's been so hard doing all these interviews, and then everybody criticizing us. You're on fraud watch. Stop doing these interviews. Stop doing these interviews. You're messing yourself up." But because of these interviews, we got Conformity Gate. Oh my god, I can't speak. I can't read English. Conformity Gate. What is Conformity Gate? You might be wondering. It's simple. It's simple. It's really simple. I mean, it's really just the logical step. Once you finish the season finale, people believe there's actually another episode of Stranger Things that's supposed to be coming out. Screw all the actors posting finale pictures, thinking the crew really acting like it's all over. Screw Netflix hyping it up as the final episode, putting it in theaters. Um, Screw just all that production notes, all stuff like that. There were only 8 episodes were ever filmed. No, there was actually a secret episode that people are convinced was supposed to be announced today. It's January 5th. People were convinced it was going to be announced today. Um, and somebody put their evidence. I'll explain it a little bit at TLDR of what conformity gate is. It's basically people believe that Vecna won. We're in Vecna's world right now. Okay, we've been infinite to Xiaomi. Madara won. All right, this is the dream worlds, the dream world of Finn Wolf, or not Finn Wolf. This is not the actual of Mike, right? And that Vecna won, and that everything we see because people act weird it's actually just like Mike being Vecna, and we're going through like a dream world. And at some point, he's gonna wake up, and we're gonna see half the final episode, right? We have a big, massive Twitter thread. I'm not calling it X. All right, so it's gonna be Twitter for me. Out that name, Twitter. Big, massive Twitter thread of somebody. All the evidence they have for Conformity Gate. Conformity Gate. I can't speak English. I'm sorry, chat. All right. So like I said, this is basically Vecna 1, and we're in a Vecna's world right now. Okay, so here's the first piece of proof, like evidence. First off, if you type season 5, episode 9 of Netflix, the only show that pops up is Stranger Things. Interesting. Don't know what this means. But it's kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie. I'd imagine season 5, episode 9. I'd imagine people would search up season 8, and I imagine the algorithm would probably. I imagine Netflix would probably be like, all right, some people might accidentally type in 9, so let's just put in the 9. That's my little. I'm not debunking it. I'm just saying that's probably how it worked, right? I do wonder if you type in season. We can actually try it. Fuck it. Let's try it. Let's try it, shall we? Episode 9. Stranger Things, and the Flash now pops up. That's interesting. Now let's see if we do Stranger Things season 5, episode 8. A lot more things. Stranger Things still pops up though. I'd imagine it because the algorithm, the way the search worked out is 8 or 9 are very close to each other. It's very possible someone just accidentally puts this 9. Now, this is where I would say this might have some leeway. If we type in 10, nothing pops. Stranger Things doesn't pop up. Okay, that makes sense to me. I'd imagine this all just comes from the fact that, like I said, I am gonna debunk it. Actually, it's probably just the Netflix thinks that people will probably type in 9 on accident because 9 is right next to 8. I'm saying it. All right. First bunk. I'm gonna call it this one's dead. This one, you gotta keep. Come on, chat. You have to give it to me. This one is dead. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Now, into the series hint. Henry has been playing us. The end we saw, it's all pure dream, not reality. Things are incorrect in all ways. That's right, chat. We have been infinite Sitiomid. I don't even think I'm saying it right. Infinite Sitiomid. Madara 1. We're in Hinata's dream world. We're in those 10-10 episodes that were for some reason took place in the Road to Ninja universe. Okay. Lucas broke the fourth wall and tells us one precise thing. Let's listen to this.
Changed everything. I don't know about you guys, but I don't believe in coincidences. Changed everything.
Okay. This is just them saying, you know, that things could be a coincidence, but we shouldn't be. Coincidence shouldn't be like. I'm gonna be honest though, the fact that we still don't know why this day is so important. I'd imagine the whole point is supposed to be that Vecna is just like stronger this day, I guess, because it's like the day that he took Will and he's just like, let me do this again. I don't know. I don't know why this day is so important, but we are going to be explained. Let's see. Look at the ending during the ceremony. They're all sitting like Henry, all of them. Okay. Let me see if I can do something. I can't spell. Oh, let's see. This is graduation pictures. People kind of. This is something I've seen. Graduation picture. You notice their hands. Same picture that we just saw. Graduation picture. Graduation picture. Where they're all sitting down. I don't know if you guys have ever graduated. I hope some of you guys have, or unless we're just talking to children. There really isn't much things you can do with your hands in a gown like this, right? Your hands are kind of just gonna naturally be. Hold on, you're just gonna have to naturally be placed like that, right? If you ever been in a graduation, you're in those like. Have you ever been in a graduation? You've been in those like seats. You're not. First off, you're sitting in like a fucking what's it called? And just like a steel chair, right? It's not really like a comfortable seating. Or like if I did my graduation like a theater room. So it's like in a theater room. So we had like those theater chairs. So we had like the ability to put like our hands like this because of the rest. But realistically, in a lot of high school graduations, you're just sitting on steel chairs. There's no place to really put your hands. If you're sitting, you're gonna be sitting like this. Very, very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Sitting like this. Very uncomfortable. There's no table to like lean on. There's no table to put your hands on. There's nothing. There's not really much you can do at a graduation instead of this. Let's keep it a buck. Most people in graduations, there's not really much you can do with your hands. Okay. So yeah, you know what? I'm debunking this. I'm debunking this. Here's proof. All right. Hold on. That picture. Manning. That's Payne Manning right there. And look at the guys. Look at the guys. Look at the guy's hands. What am I saying? There is not that much ways you can't sit at a graduation. Can you say they're all sitting like this? It's a little weird. Sure. There's no armrest. You're not sitting like that, like this, or like that, right? Just like that. Plus, it's probably just more aesthetically pleasing. Let's be honest. There's a show. Things need to look nice. It's probably more aesthetically nice looking, having a person's hands be like racing like this and sitting like that, instead of the person just slouched down like this, having their hands like this, right? See, that looks awkward. Or like this. Oh, it's awkward. This looks nice. All right, I'm debunking this. I am debunking this. You guys have never gone to a graduation. It shows. You guys didn't graduate. Alrighty. Let's see the next one, shall we? You know what's so special about the ceremony? The orange colors at the time, the color had to be green. Nancy says it in her novel. The orange color at this time, the color had to be green. And Ted Willie literally has a flag with the green symbol on it. I don't understand this. Nancy says it in her novel. That one I don't get. I'll be honest. I don't understand. You know what else is special about the ceremony? The orange color at the time, the color had to be green. Nancy says it in her novel. The Ted Willie literally has a flyer with the green symbol on it. I don't remember Ted holding a flyer, but I don't know. This yellow board being empty. Let's give it a buck. I don't think people will expect it. Being charitable, being super charitable, I would imagine that if you're working on a show like this, you don't expect people to be scrolling, zooming in to little shots. So they probably, because this is a wide shot, right? Like this is a wide shot. There could be stuff written on there, and it's just you're zooming in, and it just doesn't pop. Because there's stuff here on this one. Could just be the color of it didn't work. Might just be they just left it like that. I ain't gonna lie. Might just be that they just left it empty because they didn't expect because this one's obviously you can obviously see what it says. It says good. I would imagine it says like good job or some shit. Right? There's another yellow one, but this one you can't really see. So it's either two things. There's either actually writing on it and it's just bad mixing with the yellow, like the lettering. Or they just didn't write anything on it because they didn't expect people to zoom in on it. Uh and obviously this obviously looks super distorted, right? Like especially these parts. OMG, play WoW. So you guys are getting on my nerves. This thing's obviously look like pretty distorted. You know what else is okay? This board being empty. I won't debunk this one. This one you may get me. Could just be incompetence though. Look at that. Henry's fake reality is messy colors again, just like it did with Holly. Holly said it herself, the color changed. Henry can remember every tiny detail from red to black. Um this is the breaker. Again, I'll probably just go with incompetence. I think it's just people trying to not accept that sometimes people. To be fair, I don't know this being red and this being black. I'd imagine. But what scene is this from? Here's the thing. There's no like context because like don't they change the breaker at some point? Do they change like the wheel? Like is this from when they do the demidog shit? Right? Because there's the thing. There's no like time, at least so far, where they say even a lot of the stuff that I read from Conformity Gate, there's not a lot of like when it happens. Like when does Vecna take over? So like after all the Will shit, before the Will shit? I don't know. So this could just be because I'm guessing this is when the demidog shit happens. When they're like bringing it. It could just be just to add color to the scene to really make it pop and to make like, hey, this add color because this would be kind of a boring shot, just something like that. Red and to really tell how things are going. That's how I can see, or just incompetence, which I hope not. Book order changed. You can now read X is a lie. Um, rather odd thing to do. Back to memories. Max, Lucas, Will, Dustin, Mike. Mag, Lucas, Dustin, Will, Mike. Wait, hold on. Because how does this what does this happen? Because it goes Max, Lucas, Dustin, then Will, then Mike in the ending show, right? I mean, I guess they could just put it in different categories, right? I guess they could just put it in different categories of just importance of character. Will does kind of become a more important character in the end. I don't think this really means anything. That whole X is a lie thing. I know Jamie Hader. What's his name? Jamie Hader? Is that his name? No, Jamie Hayter's the fucking wrestler. What's his name? It's something Jamie, isn't it? Jamie Campbell. I know he said like things. Thought you're serving X, which I get could just be playing into this, but all right. When Joyce recounts Will in season, reconfronts Will in season 5, she says about him being 11 when he first disappeared. He was 12, not 11. Okay, we always Joe's always mess up numbers like this. It's just little stuff like this. I know they probably have like a guy whose whole job is to do this. It's one number off. I can see them messing it up, thinking, oh, it's 11 at 12. This isn't really that big of a thing. It's just one letter off. Kyle used to bleed from the left side of her nose, not the right. Again, this, I'm just going to probably just chop it up to, there's probably something that the directors just didn't really think about. And was just like, just the left side. I'd imagine when you're like making a long show like this, while yes, you probably have everything written down in the show Bible, there's probably some stuff that you don't, you think you remember, you don't actually just do your due diligence of like looking up what it is, right? They probably don't care where it came from, which nose she bled from. So that's my whole thing. Now what the fuck is Will yapping? No, she's mom worked here. They did not sell milkshakes during him. They used to. Yeah, this one was kind of weird. Okay, I'll give you that. This is kind of weird. I don't know where this one for melted milkshakes. Could be. If I wanted to be a little generous here. It was a store, right? Davis turned into a store, and that's where she worked. Maybe they had like a little. I don't think so. All right, this one's kind of yapping. Maybe this is like the show. Maybe the if I'm being if I'm what's the word? If I'm playing devil's advocate here, it could just be the Duffers are thinking about the play when they wrote this scene, and that's what it was, right? To tie it more into the play. That's what I can see. And just like I got other screw up, little mess up thing like that, but they thought it made sense because of the play. The ending let's with a 7 could have mean just as season 1 Vecna got him. I think the 7's just a kind of like a little throwback. I don't think the 7 really means anything. And what if Vicky isn't here simply because Henry never saw her? I don't think the Duffers cared that much about Vicky. I also don't think the general audience really cares that much about Vicky. Uh, it wouldn't make sense because, like, okay, hmm, I'm trying to think. Can Vecna see through the eyes of like the demi-dogs? Probably not, right? Could he? I mean, because Will could see through the eyes of the Demigorgons. So Vecna would have at least seen Vicky if he had been looking through the eyes uh of the Demidogs. He would at least seen Vicky. Uh I was like I said, I also just don't think they care enough about Vicky. I don't think Vicky's that important to the epilogue of like a character we really need to see her life. I know a lot of people are upset about that, but unfortunately, I think that's just kind of the reality. Season 4, we see Henry behind Will. In the end of season 5, we see a box of, and what's it on it? And the same box is that Byler's. Henry, what's it? I think it's just a fun Easter egg. I think it's nothing more than just a fun little visual Easter egg. Everyone is staring at us in the ending. Why? Okay, let's see. Okay, this I think is the most dishonest one. This is probably the most dishonest one. The characters are obviously in front of the camera and they're proposing and they're looking at the characters proposing. This I think is the most dishonest one. This one, so the stage is right up here. These characters seem to be, because here's Derek, so they're on the left side. So those characters will be on the left side of the. But then there's, hold on, there's this whole part. There's an opening here. right? So we see this, and they're obviously standing there, but then we see over here, there's like a whole section because here's them, and then over down here, there's a whole other group, right? But where does she come from? Hold on. Doesn't really show where she comes from. So it could be that like there's like the ones in the middle and on the side there's like seatings on the side that we just don't see and it's off camera. And it could be that these characters are just positioned in a way where they're on the side, so they have to look at the stage from the side. Not every character's looking at the camera, but I would imagine that there's probably just some extras who just looked at the camera during the scene. The camera's right there. I think it's kind of a little. They're obviously supposed to be looking that way, and it's probably makes like some of them probably just like glanced over at the camera because they're extras, so they have nothing really to do, and I don't think anybody noticed it when it happened. But it obviously seems like they're supposed to be on an angle because these guys are kind of on an angle here. I'm gonna say that's debunked. All like I said, this is just the most dishonest one. I think this one should just show that they have no woman gossiping about us. She's gossiping about the two people being engaged. What's everyone staring at us? This is literally the girl is literally in on the proposal. They're proposing in front of the camera. It makes sense. I think poster has been in the Wheeler's basement since season 1 and ending, and we can see it. Talk about reality being a lie, just like the Truman Show. I've never seen the thing. I've never seen anything version. I've never seen any of the like the original, any remakes, nothing. So I can really talk about that. Um, I guess that's to me. I imagine it's just a nod, right, to just the show, or just the '80s shit in general. To just be a nod to it. I think you're reading too much. This is a book. A book not only talks about a death that doesn't feel settled, but also a false ending. Which book is this? The Empty Cupper? What is this? False ending. People disappearing instead of facing consequences. I can't even see the fault. The hat empty. Hold on. Copper C. Is that what it's supposed to be? I can't tell at all what is this about. Don McDonald. It looks like this. Does it look like this? Let's say makes his death suspicious. A visitor apparent drowning of a wealthy man, Hub Lewis, who's it kind of looks like the there a D? Yeah, John D. Okay, this might be it. Whose $2 million insurance policy makes his death suspicious and leads McGee to uncover a plot involving fake death and greed. The story follows McGee as he helps a man accused of the crime to clear his name, navigating a tough town in previous. All right, I've never read this book. How does it end? Fuck it, we're about to get spoiled for the Empty Copper Sea. Original theories about Stranger Things season 4. That's seen requesting 11L fake to death. Was supposed to be season 5. A theory supported by a subtle sign of a life. And the prominent placement of the book, the Empty Copper Sea, about faking death on a bookshelf. Also, he sacrifices herself. I mean, it could just be a nod to Elle faking her death, right? That's what it's seeming like. False sending people disappearing instead of facing reality, not matching the official story. A death that doesn't feel satisfied. This one, it seems like the book is the guy who fakes his death. Um, there's a second book. Okay, so could just be that. Could just be a thing about somebody faking their death. That's what it seems like the book is about, faking their death. Hopper lost his daughter. There's no way he could have been this happy after Elsa's appearing. The ring he used to propose to Joyce is the same as Jonathan's. Could just be that they didn't want to get a second ring. I think this is also a little bit dishonest. Hopper literally has a whole conversation with Mike about accepting Elle's choices. Um, and Elle kind of talks about Hopper being like, "Hey, you took me in and you kind of treated me like your daughter, but I'm not actually your daughter. Like we know this, right? Like you're not actually my dad." and as you treated me like a daughter, but I'm not your daughter, and you have to let me do my own shit. Um, and then Hopper literally tells Mike, like, hey, we have to accept her like her actions and her choices because she was her own person. And I've gone through death before of like a daughter, and it sucked, and it turned me into like a really bad person and a grouchy person. But we can't let that kind of things like determine who we are. We have to keep moving past it. He literally has a whole conversation with Mike about this. Um, so this is him. This is good character writing in the sense that Hopper accepts El's decision, and instead of being a grouch and being sad and upset about El's death, he accepts it, moves on, internalizes it. Yeah, he probably still feels sad about it, but realizes that life still has to keep going for him. Uh, and he wants to move past it. It makes sense. Will and the True. Guess what? Now there's a parallel between Will and the Truman Show, and let's something consider at season 4. Uh, I mean, this is just something that was crossed off, something that they thought about, probably didn't do it as much while having like a fake life. Could be a little stuff to it, but I don't really think so. I don't think this one has really much. There's very similar scenes between Stranger Things and Truman Show, a show about being watched, a fake reality. I mean, I think that's kind of like the thing, right? Is that Vecna, everything is like a fake reality or the upside down. The upside down kind of is like a Truman Show, I guess, where you have like Vecna seeing everything. I don't know where you see Will, the parallel between Will and the Truman Show, and it's just not just the Truman Show and Stranger Things, but that's my thing. I mean, you can say Stranger Things and Truman Show might have some similarities, sure, but not Will. Will Smith's just like Henry. I think they There's actually a really funny thing. I think there's an interview. I'm gonna have to find it and post. There's an interview where like the actors talk about like one of the weirdest things about acting is like what to do with your hands. It was something that like if you like watched them as a kid, they were like always holding their backpacks. I think this is one of those things where they're like, I don't know what to do with my hands, so this is just like a natural pose. I think that's another thing. Uh, from that. The 7 theory, 7 is a number that comes back too much. 7-second lighting.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Steve falls. 7 seconds.
7.
6, 7. Sorry.
The wall. It was a 7.
7 feet.
7 times. Holy shit. I didn't even peep that.
In those 7 years, they were everything to me.
7 years with his ex-wife.
Give him time.
Sound like a 7-year-old.
The Duffers brothers just really like the number 7. I think also isn't 7. I might be reading too much into this. Isn't 7 like associated with yeah, it's like associated with perfection, completeness, and spiritual fullness. Could just be something like that. Maybe the Duffer brothers are really religious and they think 7 is a good number. And 777, right? Lucky number, right? So I don't know. I don't think this is too much into it. I think they're just like going into 7. Definitely still being vague while the show is supposed to be over. All these tiny details change. It's as if the narrator was not reliable, and I don't think he is. Mike became the exact mini version of Henry. No, they just wear glasses. Could you say they may look like each other? Maybe, but I don't see them resemble. I think he just wears glasses. Um, Nancy and Joyce, or not Joyce. What am I saying? Nancy and her mom kind of having the same hairstyle. I don't know. Kind of just seems like mother daughter kind of thing. Of them, they're not like that different from each other. Same hairstyle. Maybe there's not that many hairstyle in the 80s. Who knows? I want to look. I mean, they have the same. They have the same kind of like. What's the word? Um, Size hair. This could just be that the person doing hair just really likes his hairstyle on the characters. I don't think this really means much. Could mean something, but I don't think so. The family had us all going crazy, just like Joyce in season 1, when she believes Will isn't Will. It was a fake Will. It took people 6 days to trust her, and the 6th day from the finale results in January 7th. So there is still chance. This person blew a little thing saying, hey, it might come in January 7th. I thought it was supposed to come in today, but looking like January 7th. Wait, isn't that when the Stranger Things? Hold on. January 12th. So that's supposed to be released on January 12th. This person's still saying there's something on January 7th. So we'll see. In this episode, we see Mike climbing the ladder 3 times. 3, that's weird. Why would he be in every point of view? Well, not the same scene goes. Yeah, but I'll leave the difference here. Can we tell that's Mike? Hold on. Let's look into this. Is there a scene pack? Our scene. Come on, give me a scene pack. All right, we're gonna have to go to Netflix directly for this one. Give me a second. Give me a second, chat. Stranger Things season 5. The right side up. It's not gonna show anything for you guys. I think it's just the way the Netflix is like set. Okay. All right, you guys can't see it. You guys can hear it though. Okay, Jonathan, Steve, I'm watching them. Dustin and Lucas. I'm up. I'm not seeing anybody else come up just yet.
It's pretty damn spectacular.
There's Robin and Nancy, and then up comes Mike. And the lights happen. Oh, and then Mike does come up again. I'm seeing this now. I'm seeing this now. All right. This is what I'm gonna say about this scene. There's a scene. I always like to think about this scene. Sometimes, as people who make movies, we like to think that we remember everything and we remember all the shots correctly. Sometimes some things just kind of fall through the thing. Not every show is perfect. Not every show just remembers where characters are, where characters get up from, and shots and stuff like that. And sometimes some things just kind of fall through the crack. It is human nature. I always think about this scene from Modern Family. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is.
Oh, hell, I grabbed the wrong.
Hey.
Beautiful.
Have a whole thing they want.
All right. Lily comes in here, right? Lily comes in. Lily is right there. Right, just want to point out again. Lily is right here. They're all coming in. Holds them up. Lily should still be on the right side. There's Lily right there. And then Lily comes out through here. Sometimes shit like this just happens. During each season, the end, there's a Stranger Things plus number of the season title. This is the season there wasn't. It's not over yet. Yes, there isn't because it's over. That is the one thing that makes the most sense. Steve becomes the baseball coach. Like that's only seen him with a baseball bat in season 1, but he had no other information about him. Motherfucker was playing basketball. Why did he become a baseball coach? Because from Henry's memories, that's all he knows. Obviously, all right. If I remember from season 2, Steve gets beat out in basketball by Billy. So Steve, I don't think Steve is like. I think they kind of say that like Steve isn't really that good at basketball, right? But Steve can like hold a bat, and I think I mean, Steve is just an athletic person, right? And he probably played multiple sports. I think it makes sense that he just kind of does baseball because he had a bat. And I think a lot more people think about him with a bat than they do with baseball. And he just becomes like a. I think a lot of people probably think that Steve was like a baseball player, even though he was like a basketball, because we don't really see that much of basketball stuff with Steve. And the only time we really see him is like what he's there for the game in season 4. And in season 2, he gets boxed up by Billy and then falls down to the ground because Billy boxed him up. So I don't think he was supposed to be that good at basketball. So baseball makes sense. Hey, he's probably just athletic. And I like the baseball team. I like that it's the Cubs and whatever. All right. And he gets to write the ending, and he literally does. Max blames him, asking if that's all a big storyteller knows to do, just like wondering if uh you don't get to write the ending. This isn't one of your pants. You don't get to write the ending. I think it's kind of like this is one of those things of like have your cake and eat it too, where Mike gets his ending, but Mike doesn't get his ending. Mike gets to write the 3 waterfall or the 2 waterfall. I guess some people debate about the third being behind him, but he doesn't get his actual ending that he wants, right? Because of the whole L uh not contacting him, and he does get to kind of write the ending of L's life. So he kind of does write the ending in the end, right? I think that's also the whole point is that like, hey, this isn't your command, you can't write the ending. But in the end of the day, like Mike is right, like his happy ending comes to life because Elle doesn't think at this point, like you gotta remember, Elle doesn't believe that like, hey, we're gonna have a happy ending. I think if I remember correctly, if someone can correct me in the comments, I think this is after the hey, we have to like end our lives scene, right? And this is her kind of being like, hey, like I don't think I'm gonna make it out of this, but we can't. I don't want you to get your hopes up. But in the end, that's like the whole point is that Mike does get like the happy ending is true. Is this even the Hawkins that I remember? It feels so different. This is so dishonest. I mean, Robin hasn't been here in like I don't. She hasn't been here for a while. It's obvious that she's been in school. Is the Hawkins that even I remember? She when she was in the radio station, she was talking about like the holes in the ground, the earthquake, all the evil shit happening, and now things are like peaceful. So things are different. And it's kind of like a sentiment that a lot of people kind of you see it in a lot of shows where like people come back to like their hometowns and shows where like, man, it feels so different now that I'm back. It's just a normal thing that people say. JK 95. Just kidding 95. I guess. I guess. Could probably mean something else. I don't know why they would just say JK LOL. Okay. Website with lost 3rd volume tape. Heart beating before the transition to 18-month time skip. Then it's supposed to be just the else alive, maybe. Mike, wake up, distorted on radio. I don't remember hearing that. I mean, we can hear it. We can try to listen into it, right? I can't really hear anything from that. I don't really hear a mic wake up from the distortion shit. Orange cape and gown compared to the green. The answer describes the robes were orange when Henry was a student. They probably changed caps and gowns. I don't think every high school probably wears the same. Well, we can look this up. Does every high school, do high schools change their cap and gown colors. We can look this up. Yes, high schools can and do change their cap and gown colors. The colors often depends on the school's preference or specific traditions. They can vary over time due to several factors, including gender neutrality. I don't think that's why in the 80s. Milestones and anniversary could be. There's inverse policy. Some students maintain the same color for years to allow students to reuse older sibling gown. Students or administration choices. So yeah, it changes. Coming out again, you guys. Some people just never graduated high school. It sounds like that's what I'm learning. No use of the play at all in the final season after Duffer said they would be heavily connected. This is unfortunately the worst problem about Stranger Things. This is unfortunately the worst problem about Stranger Things. Stranger Things unfortunately has the problem of there is a outside source material that is currently running that, if explained through the show, could affect people going to that experience, right? So if you like show stuff from the play and basically give away the play's plot, what is the point of going to the play other than just being like, oh, I'm a really big fan and I want to experience the play? You kind of take out like the whole like, oh, this is like something that I've never seen before. And I feel like that's how some people probably thought of like, hey, we can't show this play. We can't show anything from this play because it could eat into like people's people wanting to go. People want to go for the experience. They want to go to learn the story. If we show them in season 5 any part of the story, if we show them like the ending, if we show them Patty, we show them this, we show them that, somebody can go, well, I mean, I don't really need to go to the play anymore. There's no point. Like, I was maybe interested in the play, but now I'm not because I've already seen it. And that's unfortunately the problem with having outside source material that is currently going that could affect like the bottom dollar of everything. And that's Stranger Things' biggest problem with the season, with the play. I think the play should have never, if the play season 5 should, like, they should have stopped doing the play. The play should have been like a limited time run thing, and then they could just do the play or do the play after the season. I don't know. I think the play was a bad idea in terms of storytelling. And what they could do for season 5. Fourth wall breaks during the epilogue. We also discussed this. There's no fourth wall break. No use of the I thought you were a master storyteller. The government guy knowing Mike's name at the end when he goes to run towards L at the gate. I don't remember him saying his name.
She was right here.
Why was Mike smiling?
Oh, God.
You guys cannot see this.
Mike, get off me! Get off me!
I think that Mike is coming from Dustin.
Mike, get off me! Get off me!
I can't.
Oh, God.
I can't tell. Hold on.
Mike, get off.
Yeah, I think that Mike is coming from Dustin. Let me play this at 1.5 speed if I can see his lips moving. So you see Dustin go like, oh my God.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Dustin's mouth. Obviously, he speaks. That's all coming from Dustin. Flashlight merch, blacklight function reveals Vecna lives inside the box. I think this has been debunked. I think this is from season 4. This flashlight. Things like plot holes missing because Vecna Mind Flayer wouldn't know about them. I think the Duffer brothers just don't care enough. Character personalities, looks being off by Vecna's Mind Flayer. Don't know them. I don't know where anybody's characteristics or personalities or looks changed a little bit. Some people are saying that Lucas is a little horn dog. He's a senior in high school, guys. All right. Crazy take. Sometimes guys in high school are little horn dogs. I should know. I was a guy in high school at one time. I was a senior in high school. I did graduate. I was a little horn dog, and I had a girlfriend at the time. I was a little horn dog. All right. What's a board game? Again, probably Easter egg. Color gray used a lot to signify change. That's not remembering right. I don't think that's true. I'm not sure. The ring being the string. The ring is probably just they didn't want to grab another ring, and they probably just used the same ring. That's probably just a budget, not a budget thing. Just probably just like a convenience thing. Another stage being left from the mind flayer in D&D, able to create illusions. Elder brain. I mean that's kind of like what Vecna. Vecna can create the illusions. At these campaigns, such the kid's opening campaign. I don't know what that means. Big missing missing piece of the puzzle. What do you mean big missing piece of the puzzle? I don't know what that refers to. I got so turned around. I ended up right at the beginning. Don't know what that means too. Interviews not lining up with the storyline. Interviews just feeling off. I don't know. I've seen a lot of the interviews. I don't know where a lot of the interviews feeling off. What those means. A lot of the characters. I like a lot of the actors just having fun and laughing and enjoying themselves. There are some times where, like, if you talk to Millie Bobby Brown, and they ask like, "Oh, what do you think about your character?" She's gonna be like, "Eh," but it's just probably because she obviously doesn't like the direction they took. Deja vu cycle mention. Gaten saying Will went missing both times on November 6th. That's probably from an interview. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Memory Wipe, and Epilogue. There is kind of like, you know what? I'll give them this. There's kind of like this weird, like I don't know how Hopper is still like chief of police. It doesn't really make sense. Um, there is kind of like this weird. They don't mention anything that they've been through. Feel from the finale. Took 6 days for Will to return. We will get clarity on the 7th day of January. Oh, there's still time. There is still time. Lyran and rearranged books. I think that's just I think it's just how it looks. I don't think anybody really noticed it. And if they did, hey, good job. Meta theater release, play within a play. Mike note, whenever you feel like a view master, stick between slides. Remember you're not alone. Crazy together. I don't know where that note was. Not alone, crazy together. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Mike being the only one to break the fourth wall in posters. Some of these I'll look up, but some I don't even. What is a breaking fourth wall? Some of these I don't even know like what to look for. We have a POV shot, not a fourth wall break. Yeah, I don't know. Like a character looking at the camera isn't a fourth wall break. Has anybody watched Deadpool? Deadpool was way more than just look at the camera, guys. Has anybody watched She-Hulk? I know a lot of people didn't watch She-Hulk. It was way more than looking at camera. People probably watched The Office and was like, "Whoa, Jim's breaking the fourth wall by looking at the camera." There's more. That show was like the whole point is to that there is like Jim breaking the fourth wall because like you know it's not like it's supposed to be known as a show, right? Like them looking at the camera doesn't inherently mean it's a fourth wall break. I don't think you guys know what a fourth wall breaks. There's no like meta thing to it of somebody just looking at camera being like, there's no Jim moment in Stranger Things where like Max is like Lucas is saying something and then you see Dustin go, "You guys hearing this?" You know what I mean? There's nothing like that. Which one of us is bait? I am tweet. Which one of us is bait? I am tweet. What does that even mean? It says it. This is what we're doing. Which one of us is bait? I am. This is the tweet. Come on, guys. We're acting like like Twitter companies don't just like post random comments. We're acting like YouTube comments don't just put random quotes from a video in the comments section. And we're expecting that a Twitter account from the show wouldn't do that. Wouldn't put like a what they think would be an iconic line. Will smoking in his epilogue, something he hated that his mom did. Hey, he grew up. My old younger sister and me, when we were younger, we told our dad that he should stop smoking, and he did because we didn't want him to smoke. And now guess what? I don't smoke, but my younger sister does. So hey, sometimes people grow up. Sometimes as a kid they hate that their parents do something and they grow up. I don't even remember, was Will smoking in the end? So final script being on red paper, but the paper being white during the final table reading is probably because it was. I'd imagine this is just kind of uh filming wise. It probably just looked better for the documentary to put it on white paper. That's what I would probably think of. Oh my god, there's more. Max reacting out of character by breaking things before they lose the campaign. She hated Billy Temper and really had a temper like this. Max never had a temper. Okay, I'll give you this. Max never had like a big temper other than when she was like dealing with like Billy. But Max is sassy. Max is sassy little person. And you know what? Sometimes, hey, sometimes you can get a little frustrating, especially if you're losing. Max doesn't seem like the type to really like losing that much, so I can get it. He's kind of like a beast, right? I just started like season 2 again, and you know she's kind of really good at video games, so losing would probably get her upset. Asking strange shaking the Duffers asking strange shaking they wouldn't have the budget to trick people when people were making more mysterious. I'm not directly addressing it. I don't know what the fuck. Like I said, the Duffers need to shut the fuck up sometime. Albert just able to have his whole job back. That's what I'll give you. I don't know how they should have really explained that. Vecna reusing memories in the finale. If you're talking about the scene when they're all remembering all the shitty things that Vecna has done to them, all the traumatic things that Vecna has done to them, I think that's just storytelling and flashbacks and usage of flashbacks to show like Vecna's the shitty things that Vecna has done to them and the trauma they've gone because of Vecna. King Arthur parallels. I don't know where King Arthur parallels come from. King Arthur is what the guy who pulls out the thing. I don't really see any parallels to King Arthur. Vecna destroying the world as we know it. Described from the final episode. Mike was the paladin all series, but now he's the storyteller. I mean, Mike is the storyteller. He's a DM. He's legitimately the storyteller. Everyone having someone with glasses sitting behind them to their left. I mean, this one could just be. I don't know what the to the left part means, deals with. I mean, we can see it. Hold on. We can see how many people are wearing glasses in the scene. When we had the graduation. We had the graduation theme pack right here. This is a shower. There's no shower. They're just all standing there in the scene pack. To their left. Wait, this is their right. Wait, hold on. No, it would be their left. I was thinking, I was like, wait, I'm looking this to the right. I mean, oh yeah, I can say this mic, glasses. A lot of people wear glasses, guys. Let me see if there's other people with glasses. That guy has glasses. Glasses. Okay, nobody in the shot has glasses. All right, I'll give you this. All right. I don't think it means anything. I think it's just maybe the people. That's kind of weird. Could be just a style choice, right? Of like, hey, let's have a different view. But I don't think it means anything much. Nancy dropping out of her dream school. Yeah, but doesn't Nancy kind of pick up her dream, not dream job, but she kind of gets, I mean, she gets like an internship basically. And she kind of gets to work her actual like dream of becoming like a journalist. Isn't that like the whole thing in season 3, right? That she wants to be like a journalist. So she kind of, instead of going to a school, she just decides to get ahead of that to become a journalist. Robin saying Hawkins was different. Does she remember where we went through this? How the fuck did Max graduate on time? But isn't blind. 3 doors. I don't know what the fuck that means. Max graduating on time. I don't know. I think Max is smart. Max isn't a dumb character. I could also imagine them being like, hey, Max, I know you just got the Scopa, so here's a diploma. I could also imagine the government being like, hey, give her this. Yeah, true American patriot principle. I wish they did something like that. Jonathan Watch having no time on it after coming out scene. I don't think I'll ever find anything. Will saving Mike theory. What is that? Well, your fan theory from Stranger Things, after the season 4 finale, season 5, Will Byers' deep affection for Mike wasn't just friendship, but more romantic love. Byler feeling he's confessed by saying he always will need Mike. Okay, so just Byler copium. Byler copium. We can dig that one too. Doesn't tell everyone to take off their comfort outfits, but no one does, not even his friends. Yeah, because I think his friends even say like, "Yo, bro, you're crazy." Like, I don't think anybody expected. I'd imagine all they're wearing underneath is just a suit or a shirt, just normal clothes, like normal thing, like a tie, button-up shirt. That's usually what you wear, like at a uniform, or not. I mean, at a graduation. I don't think I wore a suit for my graduation. I think I just wore the fucking button-up shit and then the thing. But that's usually what you wear over your graduation thing. So him telling people to take it off and him having like the hellfire lifts, like the friends weren't expecting that. They obviously were like, "Yo, bro, you're crazy." Well, losing an eye. This is probably the one thing I don't know why I didn't. There's obviously so many so many things of Will losing an eye. Uh, like of like shots of Will with like his eye going through something. This is definitely something I think probably wasn't like the plans, so it just never happened. Most plot holes surrounding potholes. Most potholes. Will hit potholes on his way over here. Forces of imaginary power being underlying on Will's page of the credits. I guess it's just him having powers. Water safety team used for filming, but nothing seen in volume 3. I mean volume 2. Water safety team. I mean, wouldn't the water safety team be used for 11 when she's like under the water shit? That's what I can think of. I don't know if that's actual water or if she's like in like a green screen thing though. I'm not sure how that works. Regular time parallels are unfulfilled, strange considering how much this season lean on that story. Vecna is a lynch and a god. Well, I don't think is Vecna a lynch in D&D? That's bad for lich in D&D. A god in D&D. Oh, so that's an auto. Okay, yeah, but like we're taking D&D lore of Vecna when like Vecna in Stranger Things isn't Vecna from D&D. They just share the same name, right? And kind of have like some of the same powers, but they don't. They're not one for one. The merry-go-round changing colors twice, yellow and blue in the first episode, with I don't know merry-go-round. Will never being a spy again, as far as we can see. He is a spy. He literally is how fucking Vecna finds Max. Is by Will being a spy. Also, now that I really think about it, would this scene be Vecna finding out who Vicky is and like finding the importance of Vicky because like Will like he takes like Will's memories, right? And that's how we can see the Max is in the hospital. And that's how he spies on it. He's used as a spy one more time. In the same memories, he would probably see Vicky and Robin kissing, and he learned about Robin and Vicky and them being gay for each other and all that kind of stuff. So Vecna would know who Vicky is because he takes Will's memories. Debunked 2-1. Many reference on the station, basement, Henry clock, chimes, etc. I don't know how basement is a reference. Max asked the Mad Hatter, trying to lead everyone out of Vecna solutions. Reach. Okay, yeah, but Holly definitely had parallels to Alice throughout the show. Yeah, but Holly had parallels with Alice is obviously them escaping, right? One kid in the crowd at graduation not laughing at Dustin's speech, eerie. Hey, maybe the guy did. Hey, come on! Not everybody got to find everything funny. The one guy didn't laugh, so we're like, oh my god, the Matrix is messing up. Again, weird ass explanation from the Dufflers in videos nonsense. Again, Duffers, shut the fuck up, please. You guys are actively ruining yourselves doing this interview. Every single character turning into a conformed version of themselves at the end. They just live normal lives. I don't think any of them really like. I don't think any of them really have like crazy dreams of being like super big people and famous people. I think they just want to live like normal lives. Like Steve living a normal life. Jonathan, like that's all they really wanted. They just want to live a normal life. They don't have to go for anything crazy or extravagant. Mike possibly not knowing the story about Callie the lab. Oh, obviously never having told him. So where does he get the story from this theory? I'd imagine Hopper probably said something when I'd imagine people were like, why would Elle do this? And Hopper's like, this is why they had this plan. And that's probably why Mike knows about it. Why was there such emphasis between wizard and sorcerer? Just just power. A wizard gets his spells from books, and sorcerer is his innate, right? That's how it works in D&D. I'm saying this as a DM, and I don't even know any shit. Here's a magical birthright confirmed through exotic bloodlines, some otherworldly influence, or expression. Yeah, so it's like inherent, and wizards are. So yes, there is like a difference because like Will isn't a wizard because Will is known as a wizard, but none of his spells come from a magic book or a magic item, and they're all innate. So yeah, that kind of it's kind of just an emphasis of like just nerdy D&D shit. Mike is an average guy. How's he's connecting to the feedback to the kryptonite if he's never felt it like Al or Callie? Something being triggered by it. Mike remembering a sound he himself couldn't have heard. I think he's connecting the feedback to the. I think he's connecting the feedback just because he probably knows that the feedback would hurt L. Doesn't Hopper say like they have weapons to like stop L to them? I imagine that he knows what it sound like. L would probably be like, yeah, they sound like audio distortions, and Mike would probably just be able to pick up on that. I don't think it's that Vecna's getting triggered by it, but that's what I'm saying. So yeah, so that's oh my god, there's more. Holy fuck. Dark, no one died when they're talking about Orthodox Christmas, which is on January. A dark Christmas and emotional New Year's Eve. I guess again this is just nobody's thinking about Orthodox Christmas. This is a reach. There's no one when you talk about Christmas, they think of Orthodox Christmas. I'm sorry. There's not the general public does not think about Orthodox Christmas when you say something like it's gonna be a Christmas and an emotional New Year's. You expect Christmas and then New Year's. Nobody ever thinks of Orthodox Christmas. About this chant. Again, this is just Vecna being D&D Vecna, not our Vecna. How could a military guy who doesn't know how him call him by his name? Again, that's not the guy saying it. It's either Dustin or this guy saying Nancy. It's obviously Dustin. It's a man voice. It's Dustin. This could mean nothing, but I noticed in the graduation every part member. All right, we already went through this. Those close shots with timestamps missing and errors are supposed to be production errors. I don't know where this is coming from. Now a good one. 11 was never in the truck. That's why Derek thought Mike was smiling at him. He was smiling at 11. 11 was in the truck. We see it in this exact scene. That's why Derek thought Mike was. Plus, Derek literally says that Mike is his best friend. So he would be smiling at Mike. Why Derek thought Mike was smiling at him. He was smiling at 11. I think it's just Derek liking Mike. Henry tells Holly at the end everyone will be there. He'll save everyone, and they're under his curse, confirmed to a reality where everything ends well. Again, that's just them upping the stakes. Under any Netflix Stranger Things, it'll roll a dice, always being 11. Is this true? Videos not only because Twitter videos suck. But this just being, I believe, this is obviously just a reference. Mike's exit is Will's painting. Also, the exit in Joyce and Hopper's above 2 grandfather clocks. These are windows. I'm pretty sure these are windows. Why would they have 2 clocks next to each other? This wasn't even in the show. Fake edit. Hold on. No, it's in the show. It's in the show. I'm watching it. It's in the show. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are windows. Why things? Oh shit, we're really going. Things are not legally registered. I don't know how any of this shit works. Okay, I'm not gonna pretend to know like I know this shit works. Why would know anything after? Why would I not be legally registered though? Wouldn't that just mean that any like that doesn't make any sense? They're just not legally registered. And it might be a lie down, upward, or for the happy little train game. I don't know how to mean this. All right. Well, listen, I think we debunked Conformity Gate. I will be here on January 7th having a party when when nothing comes out at 8 o'clock, because that will be the time that will release. So listen, if you believe that this is happening, write in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that I don't understand media. Tell me that I'm terrible at understanding clues. And I never know how to end that video. And yeah, just let me know how much of a terrible person I am, because I don't believe in this theory. If you guys think I'm right though, praise me, give me a like, give me a subscribe, tell me how great I am. Tell me like, thank God, finally someone said it. All right. And I will see you guys on the next one. I'm terrible at ending videos. Like and subscribe. Peace.